Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of the Success Gyan podcast. My name is Rajiv Talreja, and today we're going to talk about a topic which I think is in the air. Everybody's talking about the global recession, everybody's talking about the impact of the recession on their businesses. So, today's podcast is a quick podcast where I'm going to give you four simple pointers to keep in mind so that the recession does not affect the results of your business. So today's conversation is around how do you handle the recession? And when I'm going to talk about how do you handle the recession, I'm going to talk about it from an emotional and from an action point of view. So let's dive into what are the four things that you need to keep in mind to be able to handle the recession and its impact on your business. So let's get started with the first point on how to handle the recession. The first point is to stop watching the news. Please mute the news channels, eliminate them, remove all those news applications on your phone. Don't even turn your television sets on to watch the news. Why? Because the news comes with a propaganda. And with that propaganda, they create fear. With that fear, you lose focus in your business and you start allowing every small little event of rejection from your customer and link it to macroeconomics and say, because of recession, the market is down, and because the market is down, our business is down. Look, it's a simple science. What you consume is what you think about. What you think about is what you talk about. What you talk about becomes your reality. So take care of what you are consuming, what you're seeing, hearing, all of that, take care of it. And the simplest way of taking care of it is switch off the news. Because at the end of the day, journalism died a thousand deaths the day news became about views. Today, what we see is not news, but sensationalism driven by propaganda from different parties. So there's no one party which is virtuous, there's no one party which is right, there's no one party which is the beholder of truth. Everybody is selling their propaganda and agenda to you. You create your own world by protecting yourself from the news. That's the first step that you need to practically do. So you're taking care of what you're consuming, and you're taking care of what you're feeling, and you're taking care of what you're focusing on. Because when you take care of what you're consuming, you take charge of what you feel, and when you take charge of what you feel, you take charge of what you focus on. So that's the first step for you to handle this entire propaganda called the recession. The second thing that you need to take care of when it comes to handling recession, and I say recession in inverted commas, because here's the truth. I want you to understand simple logic. Population across the world is increasing. When population is increasing, consumption of goods and services is increasing. When consumption of goods and services is increasing, quality of lives of people is increasing. So consumption is always happening. Now, when consumption is always happening, it means that the demand for your products or services is always there. Take a moment to digest that truth. The demand for your products or services is always there because consumption grows as population grows. Now, the question you need to ask yourself, if you're facing that there's a slump in the demand from your customers, the question you need to ask yourself is this: someone somewhere on this planet is buying and spending money on your product or service. The question is, why aren't they buying from you? Are you reaching out enough? Are you known enough? Are you distributed enough? Because if you're not, that's what's affecting your business. It's not the recession, it's your lack of reach that is affecting your business. Warren Buffett once said it beautifully in an interview. He said, macroeconomics does not impact micro businesses. Don't listen to me. Listen to what Warren Buffett said, an ace investor. Macroeconomics doesn't impact micro businesses, which means what? Micro businesses, and this podcast is specifically for micro business owners. If I did not highlight that, I'm highlighting that now. This podcast is relevant for small medium enterprises, for micro small medium enterprises. So macroeconomics does not impact your business, my friend. What impacts your business is your lack of action in marketing and sales. When you are not taking adequate action in marketing and selling, That's what impacts your business. When you're only dependent on your existing customers, that's what impacts your business. You got to be proactive in marketing and selling, which is the third point that I have for you on how do you handle the quote unquote recession. You got to be proactive in marketing and selling. When you are proactive in marketing and selling, you're constantly reaching out. When you're constantly reaching out, you're expanding your customer base, you're expanding your brand base, you're expanding your circle of influence. Recession hits your business when you're not marketing and selling. Simple as that. It hits your business when you're not marketing and selling. So that's the third thing that you need to do to handle the recession. You need to do marketing and selling consistently, so you're generating leads consistently, you're closing deals consistently. That's the third point for you to take care of. Which brings me to the fourth and final point on how do you handle the recession. So beyond stop consuming the news, beyond understanding that consumption grows as population grows and macroeconomics does not impact micro enterprises, and understanding that your responsibility is to market and sell consistently, the fourth thing that you need to do to handle the impact of the recession, if there is any, on your business beyond marketing and selling, is you need to adapt and keep designing profitable, scalable business models for your business. Look, recession does not affect businesses as much as disruption affects businesses. What do I mean by that? Okay. Like, you remember there was an era of audio tapes. Audio tapes got disrupted by CDs. CDs got disrupted by iPods. iPods got disrupted by music on the internet, right? So disruption affects businesses. When there's a new technology or a new mechanism for your customer to consume your product or service, that's what affects your business. It's not recession. And sometimes we look at disruption as recession and we confuse the two. Recession is nothing but a correction in the valuations of businesses and currencies across the world. That's what recession is. What may kill your business is disruption. If a new technology, a new channel, a new distribution method, or a new mechanism of consuming your product or service comes in, that's what kills your business. So, for that, you always need to stay ahead of the competition curve by adapting and creating a competitive, profitable, scalable business model. You need to learn how to design a profitable, scalable business model. You need to research what is the relevant, profitable business model for your industry, for your product line, and you need to adapt it. Charles Darwin said it beautifully. It's not the species that is the toughest that will survive, not the species that is the smartest that will survive. It's the species that is most adaptive to change that will survive. So the question is, what's the adaptive quotient of your business, or the adaptation quotient of your business? Because I'll tell you, out of personal experience of working with 20,000 entrepreneurs, one thing I've realized is this: most entrepreneurs prefer crying and complaining rather than learning and adapting. When something new happens, they cry and complain. Oh, e-commerce killed my retail business. Oh, delivery platforms killed my restaurant business. No, your crying and complaining will only make you feel good. But will it change anything for you? No. Will it give you a better result? No. So instead of crying and complaining, focus on creating and adapting. And as you create and adapt, you will explore new possibilities, new ways of doing things, new ways of building your own business. That's the key. That's the key to always stay ahead of the game and make sure that you're adding value and making money at the same time. So those are the four pointers that I wanted to share with you in today's episode on how do you handle the recession. Stop watching the news. Remember, population is growing, consumption is growing, macroeconomics does not affect micro enterprises. So go out there, proactively do marketing and sales, and capture new audiences, and constantly adapt your business model and design something that is profitable and scalable. That's when you build a market proof business. When you build a market proof business, what happens in the world doesn't bother you. Go out there, make a difference, and make money. With that, this is Rajiv Taleja signing off. I will see you in the next episode.